Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Argon. So we managed to beat Tiamat Master Mode. First of all, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of my channel members for the added extra support. And I'd like to go over my rogue perspective of our run. Essentially, I'm just dealing as much damage as I can. Otherwise, we have split up in two different groups. So I have my party there on the left, you see. And right now, we're just killing those bunch of ads. And then we go kill these summoners. You want to make sure you pick up the gem that you are assigned in master mode. Everything needs to be coordinated from artifacts, mounts, what gems you're using, and which party you're going on, whether that's left or right. And so we are here pretty well coordinated, and you gotta watch out for those little areas on the ground. They're really pesky. You can see I don't move out a bunch of those. I got a heavy dot. We call artifacts here, and now we're attacking Severin. Now here's a mechanic which you can cheese, and we have been doing it with this here, but we don't expect it's going to stay like this. We can just run behind the fire, and meanwhile a mechanic is happening that one of those dragons breathes fire or poison or whatever the type of dragon head it is. It's random pretty much. They breathe all over the platform there and deal heavy damage. You can survive it, but it's not the easiest thing and taxes the healers. So for now, previous server, we may as well cheese it while we can. So we do. And you see we regularly then run away whenever Severin disappears and one of the other dragons would breeze across the platform. I'll skip on a little bit forward here and we get to our next artifact call on Severin. I'm just watching out for this bomb. It can toss you in the middle if you're not careful. You're still getting those small little runes under your feet that you really gotta be careful about. They can deal quite heavy amount of damage and also give you a damage over time effect. We've finally go and kill Severin off, and that's the phase complete. We have to now go defend the clerics. So I'm switching over to my Blade Fury and also my Smoke Bomb, and then we should have enough AoE damage. I'll go over my build in a few days or something when I've pretty happy with what it is, and you guys can take a few tips from what I use, and potentially that could help you out in your gameplay, especially if you want to try Tiamat. Even just in normal mode, there's a lot of things similar. So right now you can see above my belt item I have this spell. I've just cast it because I have black, which means when you see the black spell trigger on somebody, you need to prevent that spell from doing anything by casting it as quickly as possible. If you fail to do so, nasty effect will happen depending on the color. For example, here I have ice. Now he manages to cancel it before we get frozen. Otherwise we'd get frozen and you'd still be able to use the gem to break them out. This phase you essentially defend the clerics like you may have seen before the rework. However, uniquely this time we have a mini boss on this side, and the other side has a different mini boss. They're not both the same. Our mini boss is a really annoying pit fiend guy who keeps spawning little ads, and he also has these red areas on the ground that spawn under your feet, and overall if you stand in any of his red areas, you're dead. Anyway, we did lose a bit of focus at the beginning there. Luckily I didn't die. But yeah, you can see we're simply just making sure we have our encounter powers for when those ads spawn. You'll always get a group that will spawn down below and then up above. And you can see I moved to the area, Buffy should as well, the tank, where the next wave of ads spawning in. I'm not really paying attention, but there's the wave of ads, and we use all our encounters then to kill them. And here I died because I spent a little bit too long in the red area of the white dragon breath, which was a bit stupid. But we go buff up again, make sure we got our flask of potency and our watermelon. And again, us DPS, we're not focusing on the mini boss at all because that thing's got like 1 billion hit points. You'll take forever to kill him. Albeit in normal mode of this Tiamat trial, you can actually kill the mini bosses if you have enough damage, and we have done so. I'll go over that again a little bit later. This video I just wanted to give a breakdown and showcase my first completion of this trial, although this is actually my second completion. I did record my first completion, but I wasn't too happy with the recording of it. We didn't start recording at the beginning and all that. We ended up with a lot of messiness with deaths, and we did not have such a great start here either. We were pretty distracted just having banter. We were pretty happy of getting our first completion the run before, so we were taking this a bit more casually. But again, you're seeing those spell effects happening. That one there with the double arrows is blue. This one here with the red line, that's red and it causes eruption. Blue is like a hypothermia. And if you manage to cancel them all, then none of those effects happen, and that's just great. Here we're got to the next phase. I'm switching my powers to single target. Really hate the 10-second cooldown, but you can see we have the mini boss. We have this aura on us which is dealing damage over time. We call our artifacts here and we can go and burn these claws down as quickly as possible. The damage over time, this is so frustrating. I hate this red area from the demon. I wasn't paying attention or something, but I managed to dodge out of that one, and we managed to get the claw down quick enough. The other team is just sitting there waiting for us to do it, but before the damage gets too much, we do indeed manage to kill it. There we go. And with that, you've passed your DPS check. It's both a DPS and a heal check. You got to deal enough damage in the time that the healer can heal, because the damage keeps getting consistently higher and higher. Here I'm trying to switch over to my Wondrous Dragon to get the bonus damage against dragons. I have the green effect on me, which really isn't too bad. See, it just drains a little bit of your action points, does a little bit of damage, and it's nothing to worry about. It's the least one you got to worry about. Here we have Buffy, our tank, taking the aggro of the head. You can see we have 2 heads active, and you really need to have like one group on each head, because if one of them's missing, then you'll get the dragon breathing on top of the other group. You'll get these bomb areas. You'll see them here. They will prop up. They're little red circles and they proc so quickly. You need like lightning speed reaction, and if you have super high ping, then ooh, this trial ain't for you. Or at least when you want to play like a barbarian and go in your rage or something. Anyway, we have called our artifacts. We're dealing our damage and things are looking smoothly. I need to watch out for aggro there. I did take it. And these dragon breaths, the way you can do them now is you can completely avoid them by the tank tanking on the side like that. In my opinion, I don't really like it. You used to be able to dodge and immunity frame the dragon breaths, but you can't anymore. And it was, for me, a little bit more friendly to be able to dodge the damage effect on the breath weapons. Right now, they just seem a bit too unsurvivable, so we just play that mechanic and completely make the mechanic irrelevant other than forcing us into a certain positioning. You can see we're also getting the spell effects. Buffy there got blue. He cancels it on himself because he's been assigned the blue gem. We get the dragon breath again, we run away. I have the action point drain on me because you will only get the spells of the dragons you're fighting. We just killed blue and we just killed green, and we had that green effect on me, and that was my draining action point. So now we look for the next dragon. We're going to red while the other team's going to black. You want to watch out for those bombs. Those are real nasty. They can one-shot you if they crit you and you don't deflect. So we let the tank go there first. This is black. That's my trigger. It's the hardest one to see. I hate it. Anyway, this is really annoying. You can see the black dragon went and put his big area down there. Oof, we nearly died to that one and that one again. I'm lucky. We're waiting for this area to get out of there. The tank's meanwhile just tanking in there. I guess we'll wait some longer as he breathes his fire all over. Again, we missed to dodge that, but we're lucky to not have a crit, and we got a deflect off it. Call artifacts, things are going well. Second in Pain Giver, if you noticed that. But I don't open it at the end, which is a pity because we could have seen our run time. But you can see from here, we're only like 10 minutes in or so, and nothing too hard. It's our first run after like an hour break after running it for like 3 hours. Anyway, these areas, you gotta react so quick, and they just piss you off if you keep dying to those. And there's black triggered on me again. This is frustrating. I have the gem, but as soon as I go to cast it, it just triggers the black and you get disabled. But at least it's just me who has it. And if it's me, then I can only blame myself. And nobody's going to blame me for not triggering it. Unless, of course, I put those black areas in where everybody needs to stand. At least it was just over there. Anyway, we have our artifacts again. We go call them. And these are vital for any endgame content right now. Having a good setup of artifacts, having those burst phases. There's black again just not paying attention. Barbarian can still attack within in his rage, but yeah, there's the breath attack again, just completely avoiding it by having the tank on the one side. I think it's a bit ridiculous. There's the big area from, I believe, black still, who's still up. Yeah, black's just about to go down as we take down red. We have pretty equal damage. There I get the black spell on me again. You'll only really see my perspective playing black for now. We generally like to stick to the same type of gems for each fight, just so people get used to see their trigger, to notice it during a fight, and yeah. So we just have one dragon left, which is white, and my skulls, very fortunately, are just gone. It just expired. So I'm coming in this with maximum damage, fully buffed up. Ooh, that one nearly killed me. So yeah, you can see we let the tank go first for the reason of this breath attack. We have made the mistake before of all rushing towards the head, and then he goes and does this breath because the tank hasn't positioned him yet, and we just die. Horrible. There's white behind you, you see that, and Shedinn should have that gem, and that's all good. We call artifacts, and then we realize our mistake. It's the last dragon, so we kind of want to have artifacts for the last phase, which is also like a DPS check. So we take our time here. We decide we're only going to hit with at-wills, get our action points back, and I'll skip on a bit. And so we go to kill white then. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get my action points back. I assume others probably did, but we get this aura on us again. I think it's a bit intrusive and a bit much to have this for the entire phase, but you get used to it. This kind of blood effect, like you're dying, but we are taking damage over time, but it's not a lot right now. 80k, 100k max. Healing word can easily out heal that. Again, here is the last phase. You have these two mini bosses. That's as much as you're going to see of them, as I don't turn around much anymore. What we call artifacts, and us DPS have to damage the chests of Tiamat. The two tanks are behind us, tanking again those same two mini bosses. Here we're cuddling up. We don't get those nasty areas, but we do get the spells. So if everybody's together, it's real easy to see the spell trigger and then cancel it with the person who has the gem. You get white, we cancel it. You don't want to do what that guy just did, is run away from the group, even though it's not a great spell to have affected on you. If you can just stay and cancel it, it's better than running off and not getting it to cancel. We need to watch out. That's one of the mini bosses just there. One of the tanks is struggling a bit with the demon guy who spawns the ads, and one of the DPS needs to go back and save him. And there we have white again, cancel that. DPS is not looking so great there. Unfortunately, our rogue just fell off, the other Shedinn. Anyway, we call our artifacts again. Somebody put an eruption there and didn't cancel it quick enough. An artifact, you can see, is the majority of our damage. You need to get the burst damage off. Black behind me, quick turnaround, quick cast, and there you go. Pretty neat. Oh, I did open the damage board there. My damage isn't doing the worst there. I did have a pretty good run of only dying twice at the beginning, and hopefully that can remain like that. You can see the run, 18 minutes. We were most likely sitting around for more than 5 minutes in the lobby, as you do. Somebody's always AFK, and you can see the damage is getting pretty heavy. I didn't dodge out of the infuriating red areas from the devil guy. I get my black there. Again, I don't dodge out of the devil's area. That's just horrible. I hate that. You just gotta watch out for it. It's a little red area, and when you have a warlock sitting next to you putting things on the ground, or you have the hollowed ground, it can be hard to see. And it's one-shot me twice now, so I'm already on 2 skulls. There's your hollowed ground helping us keep us all healed. There's the white that gets nice and cancelled, and pretty much looking GG here. Our last artifact call, and that's it. Tiamat is defeated. Pretty happy out with this. A few of the guys we didn't run much with, but they had some good practice in some other groups, I believe. And that's Tiamat Master complete. We even got the coordinated takedown, where you defeat the claws within 2 seconds of each other, in Master version, of course. The loot here doesn't look so bad. I'm just re-rolling, but you can see the new reroll mechanics. It's only 2 rerolls. Brilliant diamond, pretty neat. A hellhound, I'll take that. Can't really reroll anymore. And somebody else did get the new artifact set, and we can see that just here. We have one of the pieces there, but you can see it gives us Draconic Resilience as the set bonus, which looks pretty terrible for anybody apart from perhaps a tank. Essentially, you'll reduce the incoming damage by 8% and give 8% power for 10 seconds when your stamina drops below 15% and a 20-second cooldown. Don't really like this. Tank, I would like it without a cooldown and just lasting 10 seconds. Then it would be great. It would definitely be competitive with other things out there. You could make use of the power for having that extra aggro damage and otherwise reducing incoming damage. That's all what tanks are about. And the artifact to go with this, again, you can see the tooltip there, and it seems to just give 25 stamina to the people that it affects. I don't see how that is useful apart from a tank, and it's only 25 stamina once, and that's it. A tank, you're only generating 25% of your shield, and yeah, really, that's it. Like, that's very underwhelming. It could give 25 stamina every 1 second. That would make it useful, but alas. Hopefully these things can be changed, but we can see that these are unbound. You can go and you can sell those on the auction house. It's a mythic gear piece. 1,800 item levels for the neck and the waist. People will want it just because it's shiny, mythic. It's got high item level. As a tank, it's not too bad, giving charisma there. I don't know what the neck piece will give. So with that said, hopefully this was somewhat insightful. Master Tiamat, pretty happy that we completed it. It's not going to be an easy trial. However, over time, as people get practice, again, things will get trivialized. People will learn the patterns and know what to do. And then things just get easier and easier from there. There will always be people who think they're the best in the game, and they'll say the whole thing is easy, even if they took a bit of time learning it at the beginning. So with that said, hopefully I presented this well. If I did, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.